and then away we go. Preparing to live stream the webinar. Just bear with me for a second. We always have to do it at this point, okay? We can't do it beforehand. Something about the music, I don't know what it is, but no big deal. All right, let's get going here. All right. Week in review, Sunday, 8 p.m. Okay, I think we are. Are we on here? Are we on here? I hope so. Hope we're live streaming here. Okay. Waiting for one scheduled. Well, I'm not sure. But anyway, we are looking to live stream here tonight. And should be good. Should work. Let me try it again. I'm not so sure it worked. So, man, it looks like we're live streaming. Okay, well, whatever. All right, good evening, everybody. It's not looking too good for my beloved Buffalo Bills at the moment. Where are they in second quarter? Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, Kansas City is leading 21 to 10. No, they do this all the time. They get right up there, right up to the edge, and then they buckle or something happens. And but anyway, you're there, I'm here. That's all that matters right now. Thanks for joining us, folks. Okay, let's get going. My name is Hugh. I'm going to start the recording right now. Hit the button. All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday night introduction to trading weekend review. My name is Hugh here for January the 26th, Sunday, January the 26th, 2025. And I was just saying here, my goodness, my beloved Buffalo Bills are currently losing to the Taylor Swift, I'm sorry, Kansas City Chiefs. Are we allowed to say Chiefs? I'm not sure. Kansas City 21 to 10 at the moment. I got an eye on that. I've got a vested interest in them winning, so they have to win. You know what I'm saying? Because my e-newsletters have assumed that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. So anyway, folks, let's move along here. Let's move along. There is a questions box. You'll find the icon on your Zoom dashboard. Please click on that. I'm the only one that sees that, and would certainly love to get your comments over the next little while here as we get into our session because we're supposed to be talking about day trading spy, right? Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, yeah, I'll have that in the background. Anyway, no problem. All right, I've got a question for you, just to get things started here, as a little bit of an interactivity. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to ask you a question. How do you feel about Trump's removal of diversity, equity, and inclusion, those programs? Put up in the questions box, and I just want to see what you think about that. Okay, just to give me an idea here. And see what you think. Just kind of get an idea here. Okay. All right. Lots of okay. Brilliant. Agree. I support them. You're new to Day Trade Spy. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Overwhelmingly one. There's two twos. Two twos. Interesting. Interesting how there's two twos. Okay. I just curious. It's not a scientific thing, nothing like that at all. That's right. We should not need laws for equality. I like the two gender idea. Imagine that. Okay, great step in the right direction. Okay, lots of great comments. Okay, I just I just threw that out there, and yeah, there's a question there. What do I think? You says this guy says, well, what I think? I think one as well. I think one as well. Yes, I think from both sides. Both sides. I would not want to, for example, a heart surgeon working on me and hired because they fit into the DEI hire, and I thought, oh my gosh, let's go back to merit. But anyway, let's not get into all that. All right, just a quick question. And what we're doing there is we're just killing a little time waiting for all these people to join us because there's a lot of people coming online here tonight, and they're all still coming online. So come on in, gang. Good to have you all here. I'm gonna just leave this. Where did it go? This disclaimer up on the board, give you a chance to read through this and understand what's going on here. So that is actually really awesome. Good to have you all here. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, cool. All right, you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. Okay. Yes, DI means dinner. Okay, well. Okay. Everyone should get an equal chance. I have an idea. Okay, let's go back for a second, talk about that, just for a second. I think the way they should hire is this. This is just my opinion. I think they should leave off all items that do not pertain to the qualifications of the job. If you fit the job description, if you are meritorious, you know what I'm saying. If you have the merits for a job, my brain's not functioning on all cylinders this evening for some reason. Probably because the Bills are losing. But if you fit the job, they should. That's all that should be looked at on a resume, I think. And then as the best qualified rise to the top, they are the ones that should be brought in for the interview. And the best for the job fits the bill, I think. Everything should be equal. There should not be this prejudice against and for anybody. So anyway, that's just kind of my ideas. Anyway, I'm not here to kind of engage all that right now, but anyway, my name is Hugh, folks, and I've been doing this for a long time, teaching people how to day trade options on SPY. And most of the knowledge I gleaned came from those deep in the trenches trades, those losers. Those trades that you make one day and they worked out great, and the next day you do them all over again, the same trades, and then they turn into garbage, and you say, "What happened?" Well, what I used to do back then was review my losses and see what went so wrong. How can this have been a good trade yesterday and suddenly today it's no good? And sorry, my throat's dry, so I have to have a drink here every now and then. Uh, most of what I learned from my losses, right? I celebrated the wins, don't get me wrong. I had a lot of wins, had a lot of losses, but coming from a corporate America, internal audit for an insurance company, I knew a little bit about risk, was comfortable with numbers. And when my own financial advisor blew out half my account, I realized it's time for me to take control of this. And I learned a couple of things during that drive back from his office. I realized number one, nobody cares or should care more about my money than me, and that goes for each and every one of you. And the other thing I learned is with the power of the internet, we all have information at our fingertips just as much as the next person. Um, Something else I learned, I'm trying to think what it is now. I can't remember now. I learned a lot of things along the way. I learned that I got to be able to do this myself, and you don't need a financial advisor anymore. Just like you don't need a travel agent to make your trips, right? You just book online. What the heck, You need a flight, you need a hotel, you need a rental car, whatever you need. What do you need a travel agent for? So, um, no offense to travel agents if you happen to be a travel agent, but I just learned how to do this myself. I took all these courses. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned a lot of stuff, and eventually I started making some money to the point where people started asking, "You, you're onto something. I see your financial situation seems to have turned to the better." I said, "That's right." And they thought I won the lottery. I said, "No, no, no, no lottery." But I'm doing very well, thank you very much. So I learned some cool strategies that worked for me. Now, I'm not saying they're going to work for you necessarily, and there's endless strategies in the stock market. I mean, the stock market is just the arena that we play in, right? But there's endless strategies, and if you find something that works, stay with it. I talked to a gentleman on the other day, and actually a good friend of mine, and he was enjoying success with SPY, but for some crazy reason, he drifted off and did something else. Well, this person suggested that, and somebody else suggested. I said, why do you keep looking? When you find something that works, why don't you just stay with it? What do you keep looking for? When you lose your car keys and you find your car keys, you stop looking. He made a lot of money trading SPY options, and then he went into something else. He went into well, he went into cannabis. He bought Canopy Growth for I don't know, $57 a share. And then they had some sort of a reverse split or something. Anyway, long story short, I think it's worth about 17 cents a share now, maybe 18 cents. Worthless. Now, he also bought some crypto. I don't know how he's doing with that. I'm thinking he's doing okay with that. I don't know how much he has or whatever, but he blew out a lot of money in the intro, and that has a very devastating effect on a person, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally and everything. It really hits you hard. But I discovered a few things in money management techniques and different things like that. Most of it from the hardcore trading, right? In the trenches. So anyway, others noticed, they coerced me to show them. So it was back in 2010 when we started teaching people. We started teaching people how to,
You get it?
okay, somehow we have somebody online. How did that person come online? Who is this person? I'm not sure where that came from. Hang on a second here. Attendees, participants too. Isn't that something? I this this is the
You
strangest.
got it.
I don't know who's online here. Hold on.
No. Oh, yeah. There's a flag. You're right.
Is this
Oh, trash truck?
John online? I don't know who's online. Isn't this the strangest thing? Somebody ha I must have a microphone open here somewhere.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I don't know how to how to dismiss everybody here. Uh, there's something leaking in here. Attendees. Okay. Whoever is online, please mute yourself because I don't know how you could be online. Strangest thing. Okay, maybe it's a phone call listener. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Short-term breakouts, folks. That's what I do. Short-term breakouts on SPY. I've been trading internationally since 2010. Multiple daily gains. That's where I find that you make the money the most. Okay. Strange. Strange. Okay. Are we back? Zoom, sign in, recording. Okay, something's gone funny here. Are you guys still there? Did I lose you all? Please, okay, let's see. Did I lose you? Are you guys okay? Can you tell me if you're still on? Am I still broadcasting here? So I'm still there. Okay, you can still hear me. I don't know what happened here. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, cool. And I'm going to again share my screen. I don't know why this thing's gone a little quirky on me here. Strange. Can you see my screen at all? Okay, I'm not sure why. Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, good. Wow, that was crazy. Something's going on here. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight, folks. Okay, is our AI comment. Oh, why are we here? Why are we here? No, come on. We're having a little fun. This is a casual night. Sunday nights are casual nights. We talk about anything and everything, right? That's what it's about, okay? It's not we're not going to teach you right now how to trade options. I'm going to spare you the anguish. If you're here, then you're going to think you're going to learn to become an expert options trader right now. It's not going to happen. All right. Here's what we're going to talk about here. We're going to talk about last week, what happened, upcoming week. We're going to talk about it, give you a 2 minute tutorial, how we can help you. We're going to answer your questions. All right. But it is a casual evening. And yes, we do talk about lots of different things here tonight. And I see that the Bills did score a touchdown here. Now the currently score is 21-16 still for Kansas City. Not good for me. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Here's what happened. First of all, a couple things I want to tell you. A couple announcements. Spy on the market. This is a newsletter that goes out every week, every Thursday. It lands in your inbox, folks. And it's a 3 minute read. If you have not yet subscribed, go to www.daytradespy.com. And when the pop-up comes up, leave us your email address. That will subscribe you on Spy on the Market. This week's topic is winter trading. Winter trading. Okay. That's funny. Who was it that made that comment? Just kind of go over here. All right. Doyle. Please move on while we're here. Don't want all this political. I agree with you, but I know. It's just we're having fun. Another comment, folks, and I'm not sure what we're going to do yet with the Day Trade Spy Trading Room. We're going to figure it out. I'm going to be at the Money Show. Yes, we're going to be at the Money Show in Las Vegas, at the Paris, Las Vegas, February the 17th to the 19th. And I'm going to be presenting here on Wednesday, February the 19th at 11 o'clock local time, 11:45. Day trade spy options. If you're not making 5% a day, we need to talk. And then I'm going to come back up again at 12:30. Why spy? Why now? Why day trade spy? Wow. All right, and we're going to be talking about that. These are going to be short, 45-minute segments. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be relaxed. We're going to take questions. Anyway, I think you're probably past that, but if you have any friends or whatever, just come by and say hi to us. We'd like to meet you here at the Money Show. The Money Show, that's going to be on February the 17th to the 19th in Las Vegas. We were there last year and met a lot of the fine folks in that part of the world, and it was really a lot of fun. All right, moving along here. Okay, so this is what happened last week. Let's just kind of expand this a little bit, and let's talk about what happened here last week. Markets were closed on Martin Luther King Day on Monday. Tuesday was a low no news day. Low no news day. The Trump effect was still in effect, and technical trading moved SPY to test the high of 603 that day. On Wednesday, we had another low no news day, a continuation of the Trump euphoria with immigration and America First policies pushed SPY to the upper band. It appears that Trump is speaking every day and coming up with things every day, and the market seems to take to it. And SPY moved up to around, I guess it was around six, all over up in the six. I think the high is about 609 and change. We're up around that 607, 608 mark, not too far off that on Wednesday. On Thursday, we did have a record high on Thursday. Pre-market profit taking followed higher than expected anti-inflationary unemployment claims. And then Trump's speech at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, SPY hit a record high on Thursday afternoon, only to follow by another record high on Friday morning, top at 610.78. Then we had a little bit of a recoil here, fueled by inflationary economic news. PMI reports were higher than expected, higher than 50, which is that magic line in the sand. Anything over 50 indicates industry expansion. Below indicates contraction. They came in at I think it was both manufacturing and services PMI reports. Existing home sales also reported here brought SPY back to close near 608. Lots of profit taking going on then, but we're still in that upper band, up around 608. We're going to see what happens tomorrow. All right, and moving along here seasonally, this is a seasonal chart. Okay, and that blue line at the top is where SPY is now. The red line at the bottom is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. But if we zoom in on this a little bit here, we'll note that SPY rose about 3 points over the last week, and seasonally, SPY rose about 2 points coming up the following week as well. Rather stable, but there's still a rise, and that's kind of what's happening there. Okay. All right, so let's take a look here. What are the factors that have moved SPY this last week? Day one, President Trump signed a record 26 executive orders, more than any other administration, and his orders ranged from energy, immigration, tariffs, technology. He announced what a $500 billion AI infrastructure project that he's embarking on. It's very ambitious. Very ambitious. Proposals were welcomed by the market, but analysts expect volatility ahead as new policy updates are released. And the next set of proposals may still focus on tariffs, deregulation, and tax cuts. I know that he was talking about, oh, we're going to increase tariffs. We're going to, nail Canada for 25% right in first day. He's moved back to February the 1st, and we'll see what happens on that. Deregulation, tax cuts, these are all coming up, and we're going to see what happens next little while. Solid fundamental backdrop does exist, supported by a healthy consumer and positive economic earnings growth. And I just want to get rid of a comma there. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, there we go. That should continue, right? The earnings growth, positive economic growth should continue as new policies are rolled out. And not policies, policies. Okay, let me see how policies. Okay. There we go. Let's get the spelling right on this here. Certainty. Okay, I think what happened was we wrote this very quickly here, and somehow it just got past our spell check. Sh Should continue as new policies are rolled out, may improve as some uncertainty is behind us. So we're going to see what happened. That's what happened last week. All right. Oil. I mentioned Canada, and Canada is threatening to retaliate with oil. They say that the U.S. gets oil at a very discounted rate, and if they are going to be hit with 25% tariffs on everything that crosses the border, then they are going to retaliate with a tariff of their own, and it's going to perhaps start with selling oil at market prices, and they're going to look at international markets as well. But I'm just looking here at this particular chart. The U.S. remains on top as the top oil producer globally here, 22%. OPEC countries, we're looking at 11% there, and 4% Iraq, Iran, 4%. Canada's only at 6%. So I don't know if we were to stop getting our energy from Canada, how that would impact us. Would that have a material effect on us? Not really sure. Now this is relatively old. This is the latest number. These are the latest numbers I can get from 2023. But this chart still shows that U.S. was the top oil producer. I think the drill baby drill mantra is going to push this even higher. So I think the less reliant we become on other countries for our energy, the better it will be. Um, there's a lot of talk that tariffs on Canada will hurt Canada, obviously more than probably the U.S., especially since a lot of product comes from. Trump said that he said he doesn't really want a tariff Canada. What he wants to do is tighten the borders. Tighten the borders. I guess a lot of illegal immigrants are finding their way into Canada, and through the porous borders between Canada and the U.S., they're coming into the U.S. as well. But and if Canada can tighten that up and somehow, the irony is borders don't actually look to see who's going out; they actually see who's coming in. So I'm kind of a little confused on that because um, Canada would be looking to see who should be coming in, obviously, into their country, but it should be up to the U.S. to check to see who's coming into the U.S. more than Canada to see who's going out. But I'm not really sure how all that's going to work. But it's going to be very interesting in the next few days how this is going to roll out. Um, Now, Trump's MO is that he does come on very strong as a negotiating tactic. Then he pulls back a little bit until everybody sort of gets what they need or want or whatever. But we'll see what happens. Going to be a very interesting few days, very interesting 4 years. Very interesting 4 years. All right, last week S&P rose 1.7%, 3.7% year to date. Nasdaq up pretty well the same, 3.3% year to date. And the Dow is up 4.4% year to date, having risen 2.2% last week. Interesting. We're off to a pretty good start for the first month. And if this continues 3.7, we're not even at the end of the month yet. But if we say look at that over 12 months, we're looking at what? 45% growth if this continues. We'll see. We shall see. All right. So the week ahead, Monday we have new home sales. Tuesday, and oh, by the way, earnings include AT&T. Just kind of putting the big earnings down there. Tuesday we've got durable goods orders, consumer board, consumer confidence report, and the Richmond Manufacturing Index. But earnings: Stryker, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Starbucks, Royal Caribbean, and General Motors. Wednesday is going to be the big day, folks. We have the Fed funds rate, and the earnings include Microsoft, Meta, Tesla, T-Mobile, and IBM. This is going to be so. I think about 99.5% of the analysts uh, predicted that there's going to be 0% chance of a rate cut, and only about I think it's a 0.5% expect a quarter point rate cut. Uh, I don't see a rate cut. I don't see a rate cut at all. Fed Chair Powell and Trump seem to be odds already, and Trump is pretty much dictating. Oh no, he wants interest rates down, so it'll be interesting. Now, if these tariffs do give us inflation, right? Fed Chair Powell is going to want to increase rates to bring inflation down. This can be quite the battle between those two. Thursday, unemployment claims, pending home sales, earnings, Apple, Visa, MasterCard, Caterpillar, Comcast. We've got some big earnings this week, massive earnings this week. Friday, personal consumption expenditure. This is the PCE. This is the big inflationary indicator that the Feds use to gauge their inflation with, right? Or by, rather. It's PCE. So I find it's interesting that they would announce their Fed funds rate before the PCE number comes out. But it is what it is, unless they have some sort of a advance notice. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Chicago PMI and personal income, personal spending, earnings. We get the oils coming in on Friday. Exxon, Chevron, Colgate, Palmolive is also in there for Friday. All right, and let's take a look here. What are we going to talk about here? Coming up, volatility. I'm looking at moderate on Monday, high on Tuesday, high on Wednesday, moderate on Thursday, and again, high on Friday. High on Friday. All right, we're going to get to the questions in just a little bit. Let's take a look and see how we can help you folks. There are many opportunities all day. Let's get this snowman out here. There he is. Let's go back here. Okay, do we have him? There he is. He's making a move. Okay. Many opportunities every day. We make money every day. At least we try to make money every day. We show you up there. The snowman just turned around and left. I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of our services that we have. Now, not everybody wants to do the heavy lifting. There's some people that just want to be given a trade every day as to what to trade. So one of our most popular programs is the DayTradeSPY Signal. You sign up for this and you're going to get a signal sent to your cell phone, a text message with a specific option to buy right then and there. So if you're walking around, you're driving, whatever, you stop what you do, you pull up your app on your phone, or if you're at your computer, you pull up your computer platform and you simply make the trade. You make the purchase, okay? Immediately put it up for sale for a 5% profit target. 5% profit target. If for some reason it does not sell for your 5% profit target, sell it at the end of the day for whatever the market gives you. Now, there's ample time in these trades, so you're not going to go to zero. Uh, Most of the time, by far, I'm not sure what the number is right now. I think I don't have the number. I want to say 90% or something, but um, the number is very high in that it reaches that 5% very quickly. Now, if you're watching the indicators, most people are making much more than 5% of these trades. Okay. A lot of people are making more than 5%. So this is just a standard by which we measure. We measure. Now we like to just say, okay, we're just going for the 5%. Just to buy it, put up for sale, don't worry about it kind of a trade. Come back at 4 o'clock, see what's going on. Okay. That's an excellent little program that we just started about a year or so ago. It's been working very well. There's another one here, pick of the day, which you're going to get an email just before, actually right around 9 o'clock. You get this at 9 o'clock. So this is whereas the day trade spy signal is an algorithm-based trigger. Okay, the signal is a humanly decided trade, and that human is myself. Okay, so what I do there is I look at all the various news feeds, Twitter feeds, or sorry, X feeds now. I look at the news coming up. I look at the technical indicators. I look at the charts. I look at all of this stuff. It all comes to me. I get up early in the morning and I take a look at these items and I put it all in this big mixer, right? You know, turn the mixer on and see, well, what comes out of this thing? Is it going to be calls or puts, right? It's very simple. Calls or puts. And then I send it out to you. Which particular option I would be interested in trading at market open. So when the market opens, you just wait a few seconds for the bid-ask spread to settle in nice and tight, and then you would buy the trade that we suggest, assuming the 1 minute candle is going in your direction. In other words, if we recommend a call and there's a red candle forming, a push to the downside on the 1 minute chart, just wait until, excuse me, the red candle turns green. You don't have to wait for it to close, but just when you see that upward pressure, buy right then. You'll get it for a bit of a discounted price. Buy right then, okay? Immediately put up for sale for a 6% profit target. Sit back and let the market work its magic. Pick of the day is also a very exciting, a very exciting program that's been highly successful, and and a lot of people really enjoy it. Again, you don't have to watch the markets. You don't have to do the heavy lifting. We do all that for you pre-market, right? So that's also an excellent program. Next up on the board is the Inner Circle. Now, this is the very first program we started back in 2010 with DayTradeSPY. This is where, at that time, and I still do, post the trade that I'm interested for the day. Now, to be clear, I'm not that smart to know where the market's going to be a year from now, or a month from now, or even a week from now. But we got a pretty good idea where the market's going to go today. And for that reason, right around 9 o'clock, just before 9 o'clock, I am able to get a flash assessment of the way I see the market unfold for the rest of the day. And it could be something very simple. We try and keep it simple. Okay, we don't try and get in a big, long, drawn out explanation and what's going on, and and what's these all these different stocks and stuff. Stay very focused on the S&P 500 and try and analyze, where's the market going to go today, up or down? Very simple, right? Where's the propensity? Is it going to be down today or is it going to be up today? Based on our many years of experience. That is the inner circle. You'll also get an update every day as to what we actually did, what the market did. Again, very brief, all right? And you'll also be invited to our Wednesday night interactive webinars. Wednesday night interactive webinars. This is where you can bring your questions and comments, whether it has anything to do with Day Trade Spy or setting up charts or how to read chart patterns, whatever it is that you want to talk about. So we get online for about 45 minutes to an hour, something like that, and just talk about the day's events. The inner circle. And it's a very cost-effective way to get into our programs if you're just sitting on the fence. All right, so let me ask you a question. How many of you are first-time people here at our Sunday night webinar? How many people are in your first-time people webinars? Let me know. Let me know. Harris M, good to have you here. Welcome. JR, okay. We do this every Sunday night, all right? And I want to tell you a little bit about the trading room too. Jerry M, first timer. William T, worst timer. First timer. Okay. All right, I'll get to the questions a little bit here, right? I'll get to the questions. Okay. I want to tell you about the trading room too. I host this thing. Been doing this for a long time. I love it. I enjoy it. I love talking to you guys. Um, this is where strategies come alive. So we got several little strategies. You got the bread and butter, the OMG, which is short for out of the morning gate. I've got this other cool little thing that I'm doing right now. I call it my $200 trade. So I'm working with a gentleman. He's in our trading room. So what he's doing is he asked me there a while back. I said, listen, I've got $5,000 to trade. I'll tell you a little bit about this in a few minutes, all right? And so we do that one as well. Folks, our trading room, this is where you learn and earn, and I'm going to say from the best, only because I've been doing it long enough, right? They say if you do something long enough, you're going to get good at it. I like to think we're okay at it. We're pretty good at it. And it's interactive. It's exciting trading. Every morning, this is what kind of gets the blood rushing. You know what I'm saying? We teach what we trade and we trade what we teach. So I don't give you all this junk out there and you have to kind of muddle through it. Listen, options trading can be um, difficult, right? Could be very overwhelming. And Some of the people I talk to about it is they're really, they don't understand it. And I can appreciate that. Like I never forgot my roots with this. I'm gonna be very frank with you. I remember when I started trading this, as I mentioned earlier, I'd have a good trade one day, and the next day the same trade it goes to pot. Like what happened here? I remember, and I remember talking to somebody about this, and they said, "Well, do you look at the Greeks at all?" I said, "No, no, I don't look at the Greeks. I don't know. Should I?" "Oh, well, yeah, you should. What are the Greeks?" And they told me to look at these things and study them, learn what to. When you buy an option, you're not buying the stock. You buy a stock, you're buying an equity position in a company or in an exchange traded fund or something, right? You're buying an equity position, and it's always going to be there. Your position is going to be a piece of the equity of that thing, and you can't take it away from you, right? It's yours. I mean, you could will it to your kids if you want. You own this thing, and but with an option, you don't have that. An option gives you the right, but not the obligation to trade an underlying stock for a certain price by a certain date. Don't get too bogged down in the terminology, but it's actually a contract with some obligations and some rights and benefits. And think of it as a friend with benefits. Yeah, how's that? There you go. You're not marrying the stock. You're just having a friend with benefits. Something funny about that. Um, so it's important to understand what options are. If you don't understand them, you're destined to lose your money. That was one of the things that actually attracted me to options trading. When I found out that something like, and who knows what the number is? Somebody said 95, somebody else said 98% of the traders that get into options trading, they lose their money in the first year and they close up shop and they don't do that anymore. I thought that was very interesting. I thought, well, let me see. 95% of the people lose. So I just have to be a little bit better than the 95% out there and I'll probably make some money, right? And and I thought that's kind of interesting because most people I found are very much they don't want to do the heavy lifting. They just don't want to do the heavy lifting. They don't want to learn. I mean, and it's understandable. I mean, most of us, we are adults. Many of us are, in our later years, let's face it. And, we've learned all we want to learn, right? We've gone through school. I talk to doctors and lawyers and everything in between. And I've talked to accountants and architects and everybody, all these people that have MBAs and PhDs and all these, masters and all these, and they spend many years in school, in articling or internship or something. And I talk to people, they say, I don't want to learn anymore. I'm tired of learning. Why do I have to keep learning? Just tell me how to make money. And that's what we do. We teach you how to make money. We don't want to teach you everything. If you want to learn all about the stock market, it's like a university that you can never graduate out of. Okay. There's a million courses out there, a million programs, and oh my gosh, I took many of them myself. Anyway, the things that I learned that make me money, that is what we teach you. We trade what we teach what we trade. You can watch us make money. Real setups, real money, sim accounts as well. If you have any questions, you get them answered in real time. And against, we've got the longest running trading room that I know of going back to 2010. So that makes us, well, we're in our 15th year, I guess, right? The trading room. Now, you can go to our website. Our website is daytradespy.com. I'm going to tell you, these programs are all up there and they have prices attached to them. But one of the benefits about coming out of these Sunday night sessions is this. I tell you these little things, these little nuggets of information because I think it's very important. If you want the best price for any of our services, all right, email customer service at daytradespy.com. Email them, tell them, what's your best price? I understand I can get the trading room for $6.99 for 3 months. Do I really have to commit to $2,000 for a year? I'm just interested in 6 months for $700, which would be a nice, sorry, I mean, that would be a nice trial. I can get the full year discount if I want to take it for the full year through the website, whatever, but they might even have a better price. I know they have these sales every now and then, specials or whatever they call them. Any of our programs. So if you email them, now you don't have to commit to a full year, just commit to 3 months. And as I understand it, here's the nice thing about our programs, such as the trading room. You can try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you can cancel and get your money back. I mean, how cool is that? Um, I can never guarantee you anything, but I can pretty well rest assured that you're going to learn a few things in the trading room during that month. So even if you don't continue on, you're going to walk away with some pretty good knowledge, some pretty good education on some of the things that we talk about. But I will also say this, the longer you stay in the trading room, the better trader you're going to be. We have people in the trading room that have been there for many years, and these people are they're crushing it. They're knocking it out of the park. Why is that? It's because they have been exposed and they continue to be exposed to the market. And there's not a lot of curveballs the market can throw at them anymore. Not a lot of things they haven't seen before, right? So the longer you're in the trading room, the more you're exposed to, the more you see, the better you know how to handle these various situations that you see in the market. I cannot think of two trading days that were ever the same. Every day seems to be a little bit different. Anyway, contact customer service at daytradespy.com about any of our services and get the best rate and then get on with the program. All right. All right. Now for our 2 minute tutorial. I got a question here. Actually, a couple of people said, what's this I hear about a $200 a day income program you're doing in the trading room? We had these programs where before in the past we would turn 2,000 to 5,000 or 2,000 to 10,000 or something in 3 months. This was a little bit different. I'm working with a gentleman. He said to me, listen, I got $5,000. Now I have more than that in my account. I can actually go in and out many times in the day. I'm not tied to the pattern day trade rules. So I can trade multiple times a day. But I'm interested in turning $5,000 into $50,000 or more in 1 year. Is this something that's possible? And I said to him, John, his name is John. I said, excuse me, yes, it is possible. And it's not even all that difficult. I said to him, the first thing we're going to do is create a plan, an outline, if you will, a trading log. And you're going to follow the trading log. You're going to follow the plan. And we've got some rules. We're going to pull up some rules. And here are the rules, the assumptions, guidelines, if you want to call it that. He's not inhibited by the pattern day trade rules. Can trade multiple times a day, and he's in no hurry. Follow the setups using scalps. We're going to scalp this up. The setup, we're going to generally look for the 10 EMA cross over the 20 EMA, exponential moving averages, okay? On the 1 and the 5 minute charts. Using chart patterns, these crossovers, we're going to look and see where that pressure is. When the pressure is to the upside, that's what we're generally going to look at. We're going to review the news, check the news, anticipate longer term direction, always buy time, unless a quick short term trend presents itself, but we're not going to really generally get into that. We want to always buy time. Time is our friend, right? Um, Lack of time is your enemy in this program here. And again, we're going to invest 5,000. We're going to start with $5,000 per trade, all right? And upon hitting the target, stop trading. Done for the day, unless you're on a roll, you're really hot. But we're going to generally hit our target and stop trading. I find that a lot of traders, and this is what I used to do, I would have a good trade, another good trade, another good trade, another one. I'd have maybe 6 or 7 good trades, and that last trade of the day would turn against me. Now I'm in a decision point. Well, now what do I do? It's the end of the day. Do I cut my losses? Do I take my losses, give back all the money that I earned all day? Or do I hold overnight and hope that the market goes in my direction the next day? And that usually was not a good outcome because if the obviously the market turned against me, that wasn't good. But even if it went in my direction, I actually thought I did something right, something good, but in fact I just got lucky. But what it would do is it would entice me to do it again and again until, of course, I took a big hit. In this case, what I did was I stopped trading after 12 noon. The way I figured it there was, well, if I can't make my money before noon, I'm never going to make it in the afternoon as well. And I'll tell you, if you're in a bad trade at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, that 4 o'clock bell comes up real fast, doesn't it? You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, stop trading. When you hit your goals, stop trading. Gonna focus on calls, folks. Calls only. Um, yes, you can make a lot of money with puts, but in reviewing my own log, I found that 90% of my challenges in my trades were with puts. Whether I got in too late, whether the overall trend was to the upside and I was going the wrong sort of long-term direction. I don't know what it was. But I thought, you know what? I'm not going to kind of go against the trend. I'm going to just wait for the opportunity to the upside, especially now with Trump in power. Okay. On his last reign, I believe the stock market, the S&P, hit something like 126 new highs. So there's a general upward trend with his in his administration. So we're going to try and focus in on calls. All right, now our aim again is to turn 5,000 into 100,000 by the end of the year. But John would be happy with 50,000 as well. And one last rule, number 10, that the rules might change as conditions change. So even though these are the guidelines, uh, it's not exactly set in stone. We could fix, we could change these as they present themselves. So I'm going to tell you what we sort of started doing so far. We actually started this on January the 6th. So here's my spreadsheet. My actual proceeds the first day, $364. Didn't trade the next day. 248 the following day. Didn't trade the following day after that. Look at these numbers. 826, 200, 209. Here, we held this one overnight on the 14th, and then the 15th it opened up. We sold, made 2560 from the day before, plus another 208 for that day for 2768. Similar on the next day here, the 16th, we ran up to 1210. Didn't trade the following 2 days. I think I may have been traveling. I'm not really sure. 237, 243, 440. I'm actually in a trade right now. I'm actually in a trade right now that that I'm seeing right now to see what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay. And again, we can hold these overnight. One thing we bought was plenty of time with these trades. So if I do hold overnight, that's fine. Not going to worry about it. Not going to worry about it. Okay. And and we're going to see what happens. So right now, according to this model, let me go back to this. We are I keep losing my spreadsheet. Here we go. We're $3,945 ahead of ourselves. Only 14 trades, 14 days into it. And let me just see if I can pull up the actual trading plan for you. Okay, this is it right here. Here's the rules. Here's the trading plan. Now the I'll tell you the trading room members have access to this trading plan log. They can download it and they can fill in the numbers themselves. So if you are in the trading room, you have access to this as well. Okay, access to this as well. Excuse me. So and according to this model, let me see where our ending capital should be. I think I took it about 80 some $1,000, just roughly. We're going to see where we take it here. According to this model here, by the end of the year, um, if we just stick with the $200 a day, we should hit 82,000, 82, $83,000. And we're ahead of the game already. So I don't want to get greedy, and I'll tell you how we're doing this. It's very simple. It's actually very simple. Started with $5,000. Again, you can trade multiple times a day, multiple times a day, and $5,000 a trade. First 2 months, we're doing $5,000. At the end of the second, sorry, at the hang on, what did I do? February the 3rd. Oh no, that should be a 5,000 there too. I'm gonna change that. Well, I guess I have to change the edit on that. Enable editing. I'll have to figure this out. Okay, I'm not gonna burden you with this right now. This should be $5,000. Okay, there we go. Come on, baby. $5,000. Anyway, um, basically, every 2 months, we increase our capital by $1,000. Here it is, March the 3rd. We're moving from $5,000 to $6,000. So instead of making, by the way, this is net $200, we're going to be looking for $240 each trade. Not necessarily each trade, for the day. I should say it's for the day. You could do it in 2 trades, 3 trades, whatever you want. You can do $100 in a trade and 140 or 160 the second trade, right? And then another 2 months at $6,000, and we go up to $7,000. Here it is. Starting May the 1st, $7,000. This should take us to July, right? July the 1st, $8,000, and all the way up like this. Every 2 months, we put on another $1,000. This does two things. Number one, obviously, we're putting more investment into it. We're making some more money. But the second thing is that we're mentally conditioning ourselves to be able to handle a greater investment. And according to the plan, we should hit 80 to $100,000 by the end of the year. And that, my friends, is the trading plan log for our 2 minute tutorial. I apologize, I went over 2 minutes on this, but right now I'm going to get to the questions. And I am pleased to announce Buffalo is leading 22 to 21 over Kansas City Chiefs in the third quarter. And we're going to see what happens there. Now let's get to the questions. I am going to go real quick through the questions here. Okay, let me go back. Okay, hang on. Okay, all right. Da, da, da. I might even have some losses on that $200 thing. I'm not really sure. What's the exciting news you teased about in the trading room? Okay, I can't tell you yet. I was told I'm not allowed to say anything yet. So I apologize for that, but it's coming. I'm expecting it anytime now. Watch for the emails to come. Very exciting news. Um, and I really apologize for not being able to say anything. I thought for sure tonight I could announce something, but I can't. Well, there is something else I want to announce that you should, and I forgot to put it in the PowerPoint, is that, and you're going to want to get the emails on this. On February the 11th, mark this on your calendar, folks. February the 11th, we've got a scalping workshop. 11:30 in the Eastern time in the morning. 11:30 Eastern time. I'm going to go for probably about an hour and a half, maybe a couple hours. Scalping workshop. And I got to tell you, the last time we did this and the time before that, some people made a lot of money scalping their trades simply following our scalping recommendations. Again, February the 11th coming up in a couple of weeks. You're going to want to get in on this. All right. So watch your email for that. All right. Okay. Okay. If you are new to SPY options, I think you're going to really enjoy this. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Bear with me here. How did I get to the settle on the 6% for day trades? I love it. Use it every day. Just curious. Okay, Brian. So we did a lot of testing on options, and we found that that's kind of the sweet spot. And by the way, when I mention things like $200 a day or 6%, I'm talking about net of commissions. And the way we calculate the commissions, we are looking at $1 an option to a maximum of $10 a trade. And you get that on Tasty Trade. You get that on Tasty Trade, okay? So, and Tasty Trade has $1 an option to close, to open the position, zero to close for a maximum of $10. So your commission structure may vary depending on who you're with, but I think that's kind of a nice commission structure. And that's why I like Tasty Trade. And I do use them too, as well as Thinkorswim. All right, so but we found the 6% to be that sweet spot that's relatively easy to attain, and we're not going for the moon. Now you can make a lot more money, and you can certainly make a lot more money if you follow our directives. Okay. So, and that's a good thing. But I think especially as a newbie, you want to kind of get into something that's relatively attainable. You don't want to stress too much. If you're shooting for 10% or 20%, yeah, you'll get that and you'll get that often, but will you get that all the time? No, you might get some losses that are gonna bring you down and you don't want that. So, okay, right. Does earnings season have any effect on my day trading? Actually, it does. When you get some of these big names, like Wednesday, we've got what? We got Microsoft and Meta and Tesla and I think a couple others in there reporting, IBM and something else, whatever. Those are big names, and they can influence the market. And when their earnings beat the estimates and they're positive and the outlooks are positive, that has a general pressure to the upside on the stock market. The stock market likes to hear that good news. So you cannot just forget about and discount the fact that um, these earnings trades are to be ignored. Now, do I trade the earnings companies? No, I don't. Those I don't. I got burned too many times on earnings trades, and if they miss the mark by a fraction of a point, the market punishes the company, and you get volatility crunches in there all over the place, and it's a little too crazy. That's why I like SPY. Even with SPY, it's getting to the point now. If you look at the Magnificent Seven stocks, they actually they have like the top 30, 35, maybe even 40% of the capitalization. So it's kind of interesting and kind of important to watch those Magnificent Seven. Those are the top seven stocks, mostly tech stocks. And what happens there is going to be reflected in the overall SPY, but it's what we have. So, okay, what do I think of the impact of the Colombia 25% tariff? I don't, you know what? I, I don't know what these tariffs are going to do. Trump is coming on strong. I'm not getting into politics here or anything. I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm not concerned because you know what these tariffs are going to do. If the cost of things goes up, you know who's going to be paying for this, folks? You and me, right? It's just simply passed on to the consumer. Now, we're going to have, if we have inflation, we're going to have Fed Chair Powell pushing it down with lower interest rates, which is good for the stock market. Is Trump simply going to use this as a negotiating tool and pull back when he gets what he wants? He's a master negotiator. I don't know if anybody ever read the book Art of the Deal that he wrote years ago. I don't know. I don't know. We've never had this situation before where one party controls like everything. So kind of the king of the castle. So I think tariffs are inflationary, and again, there's a comment there from somebody. Fed loves to challenge. Trump loves to challenge the Fed. It's going to be unbelievable. All right, Doyle. Thank you so much. I love the day trade spy signal. How do I get notice? Okay, how do you get text notices? Interesting. You should be getting your cell phone text notices on that. I would contact customer service at DayTradeSPY. You get the email, but you don't see it in real time. Okay, look at contact customer service at DayTradeSPY. Let me ask you, where are you located, Doyle? Where are you located? Because I think if you are outside of the U.S., your provider may have an issue with the text sends on that. I don't know. Let me know where you're located, and I can maybe nail that down. And if you are in the U.S., I mean it's a fairly simple setup, and you just have to call or email customer service at DayTradeSpy and tell them we want you guys to get everything right. We want you guys to get everything here. So, well, all right, where do I find the candle chart for the pick of the day? Okay, for the pick of the day, we're talking here just a regular 1 minute candle on any chart. So I like to use Thinkorswim, TD, not TD, it's Schwab, Thinkorswim, and pull up a 1 minute chart. So in other words, if the pick is a put and the 1 minute chart right at the open is showing a nice green push to the upside, green up, red down, then wait for that to turn into your direction. Wait for the pressure to come back in your direction and then buy. You're going to get it for a discounted price. I think it's very important. All right. Question, why am I, excuse me, why did I hold the $200 trade over the weekend? All right, so it sounds like you're in the trading room on that one here, Melvin. Um, I felt that I had enough time. That option is going to expire next Friday. I've got lots of time. We have a seasonal move to the upside, and we have some earnings coming out, which generally push markets higher. So I felt that the market could come back. I don't know yet. I don't know. We're gonna wait and we're gonna wait and see what happens Monday and Tuesday. If if I do have to take a bit of a hit on that trade, it's not going to kill me because we already are so far ahead of the game on that one. It's not going to be a zero, unless the market like tanks 20 points or something, which I don't see happening. I see the news that's coming up is probably going to be good economically, and hopefully it'll push the market up. So we'll see what happens. And that's one of the beauties about that $200 trade by buying time. See, on Mondays and Tuesdays, I generally buy the same day expiration, not the same day, the same week Friday's expiration. On Mondays and Tuesdays, I will buy the same week Friday's expiration. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I like to buy the following week Friday's expiration. Okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking there. All right, question here. Looks like SPY is dropping. Do I think it's going to come by? I'm going to go back out the opening. I think so. I think so. I find that SPY generally drops in pre-market, but then we have a rise during the usually around the opening bell. Markets tend to go up because there's a pent-up demand for the stock. Now, is this going to happen every day? We'll see what happens. All right. Okay. Okay. Number nine says 5K into 100K. Yeah. So we're looking here. So the comment here is on that spreadsheet. I think my target was 88 or 80, 82 or $83,000 or something. I talked to the guy I'm working with, John. I said, "We'll shoot for 100,000." He said, "I'd be happy with 50." Okay, I'd be happy with 50. So somewhere between 50 and $100,000 is our goal by the end of the year, starting with $5,000. And believe me, you start with $5,000, you turn that into $50,000. There's no shame in that. Time is gonna pass by anyway. You might as well make money doing it, right? Okay, Daniel. Yes, when the 10 crosses the 20 MA on each on all those. So I like to watch the 5 minute. I also like to keep an eye on the 15. And if the 10 EMA is over the 20 and I trigger off the 1 minute chart, 10 crosses the 20, I like to get into it. That's usually a pretty cool trade. I also look at a couple other things which you have to be kind of in the trading room to know. One of which is chart patterns, and then there's another key ingredient on that that I talk about, which I talk about in the trading room. Okay, yes. We are currently down at the $2,200 trade, so we're going to see what happens. We'll be careful. Alexi, I want to be careful on that one. And the funny thing is about that, Alexi, you were there. You saw this, man. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed and ashamed. We actually did have our $200 target on Friday with that, but I pushed the envelope a little bit too far, then it came back down, and I thought it's going to go back up. So again, some of these lessons, as long as you're trading this stuff, you still are victimized by my own emotional, weaknesses. I'm the victim. I'm the victim. No, we're still human, right? I felt that I was going to push a little more, just squeeze another little more to go into the weekend with a nice trade, but as it turned out, the market had a different idea on that. So, how far out are we? We're buying at the money. Usually, sometimes a little bit out of the money, but usually out of the money, at the money, I should say. Uh, is the day question is the trading room for learning to make money only on SPY, trading through the day after 10:30 a.m., or can we use the knowledge to trade other instruments? Okay, I have traded other instruments in the past, and And I found SPY is just the one that works the best for me because I don't have to look at other. By the way, I hope you guys are okay with going a little bit over time here. It's 9:05, and just got an eye on the game here. It's Bills are leading 22-21. Good news in the fourth. It looks like the first down. Anyway, so I don't know if you could apply this to other stocks. There are other considerations that are unique to SPY that we go over in the trading room. Volatility issues, liquidity issues. These are very important. What I like about, and for example, I used to look at other stocks, and I always had to look at the stocks and the management and any patents pending or any of these things, and I had to look at the sectors and a lot of different things that I found were particular to those stocks. What was going on, and with the competition and different things like that. And I had to do a lot of analysis all the time, and I didn't even really know half the time what I was analyzing for, quite frankly. But when I switched over to SPY, it really became easier. Like I generally come into my office at about 8 o'clock in the morning, between 8:15, and look and see at all the various news feeds and different things. And I can get a pretty good handle on the way the market's going to go, where the whole economy is going to go. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to do all this analysis the night before, the week before, and oh my gosh, overwhelming. So now, if you want to try and apply these to SPY after 10:30, go for it. It's going to be similar, but I found that the moves are not as great in the afternoon as they are in the morning. Most of those trades are made in the morning that give us our profits. So. All right, the Thursday newsletter. Okay, Scott, if you go to the website, you should have a pop-up. You should have a pop-up right at the front page, and that should be where you should just simply put your email address, and you should get your that should sign you up for the Thursday newsletter. The other thing is, if you are not subscribed to the newsletter, you can still get all the newsletters simply by going to the website, which is daytradespy.com. And let me see if I can pull that up and show you. Okay, where to go right here? Hang on a second. I don't want to or rather crowd the charts without. Okay, come on, baby. Here it is. Here. Okay, so if you go right here, spy on the market, and just click on that, that should give you all the back issues. Oh no, here's up at the top, newsletters right there at the very top left under Spy on the Market. Click on newsletters, and you should have all these newsletters. Goes back, I think there's probably about 69, 70 of these things. And they're actually pretty cool. They're pretty cool. Here's one. Do you know about the Spy Kids? You guys hear about the Spy Kids? No, it's not a game. It's not a kids movie. It's actually pretty interesting. Read this. I think you'll go back and find and read them. They're all about a 3-minute read, 750 words, okay? And it's actually pretty cool. Like there's a lot of good stuff in here. And I know more than one person, folks. Let me get back to this. Who you know what they do? They print them off and they put them in a binder. And I'm so excited to hear that. Yeah, I had a couple of gentlemen. Where did I go? What am I doing here? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Let's go back. Get back here. There we go. Um, Yeah, a couple gentlemen I know. They're one gentleman and one lady who collects the Spy in the Market newsletters. They print them off, they put them in a binder, and all dated. It's all organized, and they love it. So they collect them all. All right, Harris, what are the essential strategies for successfully day trading SPY while managing a full-time job with the goal of becoming a profitable trader and generating consistent income? Harris, if you can get away for a few minutes every morning, all right, certainly the inner circle is a great place to start. Doesn't cost much. You'll get an insight into the way we see the markets unfold every day. All right. And of course, you'll be involved in our interactive sessions on Wednesday nights and follow-up reports every day. And if you can get away from a full-time job for about an hour and a little bit, 9:30, 9:20 to 10:30. Join the trading room. I don't know if you can squeeze that or not. That will give you the best, most cost-effective, efficient way of learning how to day trade SPY options. I don't know if you can swing that or not. I had one gentleman, we call him third cubicle. Dan was his name. He was a CPA, and but he was working in this office where there are a lot of other people working, and couldn't really break away. So he would take his laptop. This is unbelievable. He would take his laptop into the bathroom, the men's room, lock himself into the cubicle, and open it up and place his trades right around 9:30 every morning. It's very regular. We call them a cubicle three Dan trader. It was so funny, and he would get into the I'm not sure if it was the pick of the day. I think it was the pick of the day or something, or and he would place his trades and close his laptop, and then he'd come back later and find out he had money in his account, and it worked extremely well. So, do I see SPY heading north this week? Well, not really sure. According to what I see so far, I do. I believe if the Feds hold the rates steady, I think it's going to be good for the market. Depends a lot on what the conference call is going to be on Wednesday. If Powell starts talking about inflation and the threat of tariffs, that could have a negative effect on the markets. So I would probably not want to be in a trade when Fed Chair Powell starts talking on Wednesday afternoon. Okay. I think it's going to be the volatility is going to go through the roof. We might see it shoot up or shoot down or both. It's just going to be one of those crazy things. So, all right. If I join the trading room tomorrow, can I participate in the 2 minute plan? Absolutely. You can pick up that spreadsheet program at any time. Okay. There's no start or end. I mean, we started at January the 6th. It goes till the end of the year. You can pick it up at any place and it should work. No problem at all. Okay, can you explain the 10 and 20 EMAs? EMAs, exponential moving averages. So I like to put as part as my indicators, and I'm just throwing this out there for you. This is not an official, strategy here. I'm telling you, but some of the indicators, not all of them, some of them are the very important ones are the exponential moving averages. I have the 10 and the 20 EMAs on all of my charts. I like to enter to the upside when the 10 is over the 20 EMA. They're both going up and I like to trigger off the one. It's kind of a simple little bread and butter type strategy. Of course, there's more to it than that, which you can get into in the trading room. So, all right, I've got the January 31st, 610 calls in place. Should I sell it and take the loss this coming week? 631 trades. Mark, you are still 5 days away from expiration on that. You know how much the market can move in 5 days? My goodness. We are looking at 5 days of trading. I don't know what you're in for, or what you're looking to get out of it. I would say, see if you can squeeze something out of that, maybe break even, maybe a minimal loss, but I think you're going to see some markets going up again this week simply on earnings. I think there's going to be some earnings that are going to push it up here. So, okay, a couple more questions here. All right. Okay. All right. Upendra. I hope I pronounced that right. My trading accounts, Vanguard and Schwab, don't like me to do day trades and issue warnings. Really? I don't know why they don't like you. Okay, so the best way to do day trades is if you have $25,000 with these firms. Doesn't all have to be in a thinkorswim account, as I understand it. Like I have a lot of money on Schwab, but I don't necessarily, I can day trade. I would call them and ask them, say, what's the issue? Why can I not day trade if I have the funds, right? If I have the funds, then why can I not day trade? So find out and see what happens. Um, Okay. Yeah, I think the market's gonna, I think we might come down a little bit still and maybe a little profit taking because we did run up pretty nicely here in the last few days. So we might still see some bit of a pullback, a bit of a retracement, but I think overall we're going to see a move to the upside here. All right, here's a comment. Look for Trump to negotiate a surprise rate cut this week of 0.5%. Well, it's not Trump that sets the rates with the Feds. And Powell made it very clear that he's not going to listen to Trump. He's not going to listen to Trump. And okay, I just heard there's some bad news for me. Kansas City just scored again, 27-22 for the Chiefs. Okay. All right, our first program trade comes out around 9:20. Does this trade have to be entered as a limit order? Okay. So at 9:20, when we get into the trading room, that's when we discuss the news of the day. News of the day, and we discuss the market moving news, right? What's going to influence the market that day? Okay, that's what we talk about. And 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 then we look to enter the trade when the market opens. All right. And we look to make some trades then. And I always use limit orders. I want to know the most that I'm going to pay for an option and the least that I'm going to receive for an option. A limit order does not mean that's what it's going to be. It's going to give you the best price for you. So if you're looking to buy something at say $3, you might even get it for $2.97 or $2.98. Okay. So what are the prerequisites to join the signal services? No real prerequisites. You just have to know how to trade. You have to have a trading platform. You have to be okay to trade options. Um, and yeah, I mean, we don't test you or anything like that. So you just have to be okay with your trading broker and you should be good. So, all right. Alexi says, did apply that to the Qs and it works? Probably does. I'm guessing it does. So, all right, Kurt, you're a complete novice. If you understand what calls and puts are, you belong in the trading room. Okay, we actually cater to everything from novices to experienced traders. We'd like to have everybody in here. So, okay, Jerry, thank you for the comment. Jerry M, I just started with DayTradeSPY Signal in the pick of the day, and I'm loving it. I am 4 for 4. My fifth trade was the one you're holding over the weekend, and I'm holding it too. 40% stop. I learned a lot from you trying to push the profit beyond 6%. Good luck to us on Monday. Yes, thank you for that, Jerry. I love it. I love it. Okay, right. For that, I am going to call it a day. I see Kansas City is leading Buffalo. They do this all the time. Buffalo gets up to a certain point and then they fall down. They're leading 29-22. We'll see what happens before. There's still time left in the game, folks. But anyway, it's been a pleasure, folks. The recording is going to go out probably tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Love you all.
Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process to keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell